Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about hair loss, which is something that's really sensitive. It's a sensitive topic for a lot of us women when it starts to happen, especially when we don't know why and where it's coming from. So I'm going to talk about 4 different types of hair loss so that maybe you can start investigating more about the why behind the challenge that you're having with your hair. So number 1, the most common is often androgenic, which is hormonal. So as we age, our estrogen and progesterone, as we know, start to decline, and sometimes there's a genetic component to this, but often we are overproducing androgens. So those are more of those male sex hormones, and there's something called DHT that is being activated, which then creates a bit of a pattern where there might be thinning, mostly in the frontal area or the parietal area, because of the follicles that are here have more receptors for that DHT rather than the occipital ones. So the thinning is usually seen more up here. So that's because of the hormones are actually shrinking the size of those hair follicles. Now the second type is the telogen type. So the telogen phase of your hair growth is the resting phase. And when we've gone through some sort of a trauma, so a stressful event, maybe an infection of some sort, that is going to trigger hair loss. And that also is going to feel like thinning of your hair. So it can be challenging sometimes to differentiate which one is happening for us. The third type is Antigen. So Antigen is where our hair starts to fall out even though we're in our growth period. And that's usually due to an acute trauma on the scalp and the follicles. So that could be fungal, so infections, it could be autoimmune, it could be various different reasons for why that acute trauma is challenging those hair follicles and the hair is starting to fall out. So it's normal for us to lose about 50 to 100 strands a day. But if we're not growing those back, or if a time between the shedding and the growth period is too long, that's also going to change maybe just like how the hair is feeling, or the thickness of the hair and the volume of the hair. The last one, the alopecia areata, which is also quite common, can be a bit more patchy. And when that's happening, it can be extremely challenging. And this can also be caused by the immune system basically attacking those hair follicles. So there's some inflammation in the body that's causing that reaction, and that inflammation can come from stress, it can come from an infection, it can come from various different sources. So for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be really focusing on hair loss and some treatments and some self-care things that we can do on a daily basis to help support your hair so that you don't have to move through this challenge by yourself.